Hey guys, Jonah here once again, back with the beer review. Um, and at least we've got a Scandinavian beer this time. Well, sort of. It's another one from the Scandi beer box, which is yeah, only a couple of months now. I think there's a new one coming. Some people have got it already, but mine's coming possibly Friday, maybe over the weekend. We'll see how we go. Yeah, and it is a beer by these guys, who are friend. What's it? I've forgotten what it says. People like us. I was going to say friends like us, which is these two brothers apparently. And one of them is on the autistic spectrum or is neurodivergent. Hence the logo of their brewery, with their brains coming out and going into someone else and generally being crazy. But yeah, interesting article about kind of how they started and how they survived um, in Denmark, Copenhagen, I think it is. How they survived over COVID and the lockdown, and lots of craft breweries, especially, are in trouble because money is not. I don't know if it's just about COVID, but the whole credit crunch thing that's happening all around, things are getting very expensive. Um, And yeah, craft beer is quite expensive too. If you don't have the money, can't buy a craft beer, can you? Um, yeah, and they are supported by Mikler, who are also from Copenhagen. So not a not a sort of not. I'm sorry, I'm losing my words today. What the hell? Not such a far trip to go from one brewery to the other. And they were started, people like us, in 2016, I want to say. And Mikkeller were 2006. So 10-year difference in age. Sorry, dear viewer, I'm talking complete and utter nonsense. Let's look at the beer. So there we go. This is the one, and the reason earlier I said it's going to be interesting was because last beer we had was a German beer. We think this is a Denmark beer pretending to be a German beer. It's called Rebels Cologne or Cologne. And this guy with a beard, looks a bit like me, squirting himself in the face with some cologne, getting it in his eyes, and he looks like he's set fire to his house. His gaff, that is no good at all. Um, and there's some sort of handwritten or printed thing, which is very difficult for me to read. But basically, it's when the conditions seem stagnant, while the masses are acting sympathetically, uniform, even the slightest act of defiance will get you noticed. The scent is ever so haunting, the scent of non-compliance, or the scent of beer, as it is. And I'm kind of bored of that already. But yeah, this is Rebels Cologne, and it's Kölsch-ish, it says. So it's not a proper Kolsch because it's not from Cologne. Um, the original Kölsch and a Kolsch, sorry, dear viewer, I should explain myself. A Kolsch is an ale, well, a lagery type beer brewed with an ale yeast and then going through a process of lagering, i.e., dropping the temperature down, which gets and you hold it, you're supposed to hold it for months and months at cold temperatures. I'd be very, very surprised if that's how long they kept these. But Denmark's reasonably cold in wintertime, so you could turn the electric off, let it all cool down, and have your vessels kind of chilling out, which is quite cool. Anyway, haven't tried it yet, but we have got some wheat in there. No oats in there. Not surprised, and it says brewed and canned, people like these in the EU, imported to the UK by Beer 52. Watch out, because those pregnant ladies like a bit of recycling. And this is a 5.2% flaming big beer. So for a change, I've got a reasonably strong. Well, it's only just over 5, so it's not that strong. But the types of beer I've been having lately are all like what? I had one that was like 3%, and then a couple that were 4%. So about time for a 5%er. Cool. Boom. Bit of a hiss. Sorry, I was opening that very slowly. Now, interestingly, the hops in here are kind of European. We've got Mandarin and Bavaria, which is a reasonably new hop. I quite like it. And Mittelfru, Hallertau Mittelfru, I think, which is cool. Wow, look at that. Look at that, my God. I don't know what's going on with this glass. I promise you, dear viewer, this is not a nucleated glass. But I've had some right raging stonkers. Look at that. Look at that. The carbonation. Look at the head. My God. My God. Over 2 fingers, 2.5 maybe. That is crazy ridiculous. Lovely fluffy clouds. But look on the top, dear viewer. Can you see those really big carbon dioxide bubbles are rising to the top? So they won't be sticking around for very long. Hopefully, it'll taste all right. Interesting. If I didn't know, I wouldn't say Mandarin and Bavaria. I would say Amarillo. Amarillo. Armadillo. Because I'm getting that toastiness and I'm getting like a marmalade on toast sort of thing going on. Maybe that's because it's a sort of a lagery type. Yeah, backbone in here. I think it's made, just double checking. Yeah, it's got the wheat in it, but it's made with a Pilsner malt too. So this is basically, I mean, that is reasonably clear. Apart from those massive bubbles, you can definitely see my face through this bad boy. It's not super, super clear. And obviously that that ridiculous carbonation is making it difficult to look through. But this is as close as a lager as I've had for a while. Chin chin, dear viewer. Why not consider subscribing, clicking like, doing all that kind of stuff? Why not leave me a message? That helps me out on the channel too. I know some people try and leave me a message all the time, and thank you very much. Apparently it does good, but who knows? But I appreciate it anyway. So cheers and beers, guys. Oh, yeah. So, oh, yes, we're definitely getting that kind of marmalade on toasty type thing. It's weird because it's quite dry, uh, because I guess because of the carbonation and because it's like a lager, but there's a bit of residual sweetness there too, and I'm getting some lovely like toasty notes in there, which are coming from the malt, like a kind of biscuity type thing, maybe more like a cracker. Um, like I say, good amount of bitterness there too, but there is that lovely kind of orangey type thing going on. Like I said, this beer is kind of like having, and you do get them sometimes with lagers as well. It's like having like a marmalade upon toast or on top of a cracker, however you want to have your marmalade. My God, what's going on with my voice? It's kind of cracking. Have I got the start of a cold, Divya? I hope I haven't. Go in for some more. Oh. Yeah, the bitterness almost puts a little bit of a sourness right up front. And then it goes a little bit sweeter, and the sweetness turns into a sort of biscuity type thing. It's like a malty biscuit as well, not just like a cracker, but um, yeah, something with a bit more kind of gnarly to it. A wholemeal cracker, perhaps, or something along those lines. Um, but yeah, you can taste that this is lager based. This is another beer that for someone that likes their lager and you were trying to convert them to the ways of craft beer um, or just other types of beer. Um, Weirdly, I'm from the UK, right? That's not weird in itself, but sometimes people are more willing to try a different style of beer if it's foreign, and then if they don't like it, they can go, "Ah, I don't like that foreign beer" or whatever. Um, so this kind of falls into the category. I don't know if anyone would think this was Scandinavian though. This is kind of like a German style, and I can definitely see why it's kind of playing on the Kölsch thing. Um, I've never been to Cologne, but I've had quite a few Kölsch beers before. Never this hoppy though, or never hopped with a kind of flavored hop, if that makes sense. Oh, um, fruity. It's a fruity McTootie. Let's finish this off. How are we doing? Oh, we're over 10 minutes, so let's finish this off. You can get on your way. It's so close to the weekend, dear viewer. Don't know what I'm going to do. Probably drink some beer. And although we haven't had any completely strong, thick lines, there's definitely one right at the bottom there, going all the way round. And then we have the kind of bookends, should we call them bookends, of the of the foam of the head, which is really good. And that massive head is still pretty massive right at the bottom there. See if we can finish this off without getting a mouthful of foam. Not bad at all. Yeah, this beer is a nice one. Um, yeah, and I'm glad that it's Scandinavian and German, and it's got someone spraying themselves in the eye with a sort of with a cologne. I know it's not the cologne, it's the place cologne, but yeah. Must be strong stuff because he's literally standing in fire there, isn't he? Absolutely nuts. But yeah, this is a good beer. If you like lager and that kind of stuff, this one will definitely work for you. It's not a hop monster, but it's definitely got a nice amount of hops. Reasonably bitter, reasonably dry, nice kind of finish on there, much like a lager, that kind of thing. Dear viewer, I have loved spending time with you, but it is time for me to say farewell. But don't worry, I will be back with another beer review real soon.